So we'll say everything again. Welcome to everyone in the stream. Please hit that thumbs up. Again, very embarrassing, but we'll move on. We'll say hi to everybody. Mike in Southampton, Paul Bagworth is here. Peter in Leatherhead, John Morgan didn't get a reminder email. Probably went to your spam. Annabelle Nyron here in Spain. Paul from Stockport. Alan Stratford in the sweaty Melbourne. Paul New is here. Glad you enjoyed the music. I know. I'm sorry. I'm reading the comments. You do have to send thumbs down because it really is the only way that I can't see the chat when it's off the screen. But today we're going to be talking about peer-to-peer news. We're going to be talking about the Trading 212 portfolio. I broke down all of the trades since September of 2020. I'm going to show you which ones were bad, which ones were winners, the percentages, and the profit losses. So you can see how difficult stock picking really is. And we're going to talk about what's going on with inflation, some really bad economic news in the US again. US is a catalyst for stock markets in generally developed countries like the UK, so we want to really pay attention to what's going on with the markets and the economy over here. And we're going to talk about cryptocurrency, altcoins, what are the risks. For anyone that doesn't know, altcoins are alternative coins. Anything other than Bitcoin is considered an altcoin because Bitcoin is really in an asset class of its own. So there are some really, really heavy risks involved with the cryptocurrency space, with altcoins, and some things that you may want to think about that you may not have thought about before if you are an investor. So go ahead, hit that thumbs up. Sorry you didn't get an email this week. I don't know what happened. Everything's different because we're on a Wednesday right now. But we're going to go through to the news. Funding Circle set for its sixth UK securitization. So they're packaging up £223.4 million of loans and securitizing that to free up capital. This is something Funding Circle has done pretty often. No surprise here, but a pretty big amount this time. So obviously, us not being the biggest Funding Circle fan, sorry about that, just the way it is. But I do always like to pay attention to the news since they are one of the big three original ones. Peer-to-peer lending models are being used for NFT-backed loans. For anyone that doesn't know, NFT are non-fungible tokens, really hot at the moment within the blockchain space. Things like memorabilia, art, music. You're going to be able to get a loan on your NFT if you own something that's worth money. There's going to be peer-to-peer lending models that the crowd will loan money on those NFTs. Now, I've never really understood NFTs. I know what the whole system is, but the idea that somebody would want to pay, I mean, let's look at this one here. This is called Twin Flames. If you want to look at NFTs, the best place to go is OpenSea. It's OpenSea.io. And you can go ahead and check out the different projects there and see how much money that these projects are going for. Like, this is just a picture of two twins, and somebody has it for sale for $917,000, which is 190 Ethereum coins. And if you look at the last prices here, I don't know if you can see this. Maybe I'll zoom in a little bit more. But down here, you see the price of this one went for 0.88 ETH, which is, $3,000 plus dollars. This one sold for 75 ETH. I mean, this is crazy. Somebody actually paid 75 Ethereum. So over $300,000 for this photo. And again, something I really just don't understand. Now it's for sale for close to $1 million US. But if you do own anything like that, you're going to be able to use peer-to-peer lending models to get collateral. It's called NFT-Fi. So it lets borrowers put up assets for a loan and lenders make offers in return for interest. I don't know about the NFT space. I think it's one of those things that could be short-lived, but who knows. We'll see. Assex Capital has hired 4 relationship directors. So they seem to be really going on a tear with their hiring, and they've got these guys right here who have a lot of experience coming from Santander. We got one from HSBC and somebody from NatWest. So it looks like they're trying to hire the right people, which is really a good sign for assets, as now they have resumed their retail lending development. So assets trying to restart its standard lending, get things back on track. We'll see. I still have a lot of defaults in my portfolio, which is not something that makes me comfortable. And very quickly, have to say, our sponsor Kuflink. Thank you very much to Kuflink for sponsoring the YouTube channel. Sign up today and receive up to £4,000 cash back if you're a new investor. And terms and conditions apply. Your capital is at risk. This is not FSCS protected. So you can go to join.kuflink.com/financial-thing. So thank you again to Kuflink. So hopefully Assets is going to get back on the ball with their lending. I've been seeing a few new loans coming through my email. Look at Stuart right there, looking very happy about things. So it seems to be like it's getting back to normal, but it's going to take a while for it to become where it was 2 years ago. Lambay and Atom Bank announced origination and funding partnerships. So when Lambay got out of the retail peer-to-peer lending space and focus on institutions, it seems like it was a good move for them, because Atom Bank has agreed to fund up to £500 billion of Lambay's residential buy-to-let mortgages under the terms of a new partnership. So Lambay doing really, really well in the institutional space. Doesn't affect us at all, obviously, because we are no longer doing peer-to-peer lending through them. But Lambay was a place that I thought was a good spot to park money until they decided to pull out of the retail lending peer-to-peer space. Again, if you have questions or want to just put them in the chat, we'll do a Q&A at the end. Let's look at the trading 212 portfolio. It has been a bumpy ride over the last day. Right now we're sitting at 15,858 pounds with the portfolio. Let's show what's going on here. And I thought we were really heading north of here, and we've just had a bad day today with certain energy stocks have taken a bit of a beating. I think a lot of it again has to do with this inflation report that came out of the US, which is quite shocking. But you can see we were over 17,000 with the portfolio up here at our high point, 17,114 pounds. And this was on Monday, and right now we are back down below 16,000. Some of these stocks, like this Comstock Resource right here, is down 11% today. So we had just clawed back to even on that, and then today energy stocks have really taken a beating, but still doing well with the Centrus Energy, which is down 8% today. We're still up 137%. And then the crypto mining stocks have been doing really well. HUD-8 up 80%. Again, down in the red today, but it seems like most things aside of Tesla are really struggling at the moment. A lot of pressure in the stock market. I don't think the news was good. And then Palantir had pretty good earnings and reported yesterday, and the stock still just decided it wasn't going to do well. We could see we dumped here from $26 all the way down to 22, so we're down 14% in the week. And Tullow Oil still stinking it up in the red of 17%. And this inflation news that came out, I don't know if you can see this, but you can see some of these numbers down here at the bottom. I'll zoom in. Really, really, really bad inflation news coming out. All items 0.9% change from this time October of last year in 2020. So that's, year over year, we're talking about an 11.8% rise in inflation for food. Energy has gone up a ton. You can see 4.8% inflation in 1 month. Energy commodities 6.2%. Fuel oil has gone up massively. And this, as I've said before, this inflation is not transitory. You're going to hear those rhetorics coming out of the government of probably both the UK and the US, but You know, these numbers don't lie. This is happening. Used cars and vehicles up 2.5% in 1 month. That's crazy. It's absolutely gone nuts here with the inflation rate. I think total it was about 6.2% for adjusted 12 months ending October 2021. You know, some of these numbers are really bad, and I think we have to pay very close attention to what's going on with this inflation number. It's not going to get any better. It will come down eventually. Who knows when? It can't continue to rise at these type of rates because that is hyperinflation type rates. And there are some people that believe hyperinflation is possible within the US. I don't know if it is or not. I'm not sure that is a possibility, but it's happened in other countries before. And this, again, is the reason why diversifying into assets that are not connected to fiat currency like the US dollar or the UK pound is important, things like Bitcoin. And we're going to take a look at what's going on in the Bitcoin market today. We saw a big spike today in Bitcoin's price, and I'm not sure if it's because of this inflation news, which is very, very possible. But you can see here we hit the all-time high actually went to about 69,000 US dollars. So we hit a new all-time high Bitcoin and then saw this pullback back down to 67,000. It seems to be in that range where it's going to be trading between 62 and you can see that $69,000 range, but I think $70,000 is on the horizon. It's going to take a little bit to get over that mental price point, but it's coming, and the crystal ball is getting clearer on that. It will come. It is imminent, probably 92.5% imminent. I joke when I say that, not financial advice, but I do believe it is coming soon. So we really have to pay attention to what is going on with the economic news. Things are not looking particularly good at the moment with the inflation rates, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and look at, hopefully you can see this okay. This is our Trading 212 results. Let's see if I can pull this up a little bit more. These are all the trades, everything that we started from September 2020 to November the 9th. And there's some pretty good trades in here, and you can see like the majority of the good trades were made up by a small amount of stocks. And again, this is one of the issues about trying to pick out stocks. You just don't know which ones are going to be the winners and losers. But this was our biggest winner here, was Magnite, and this was very early on in the portfolio when it was very tech heavy. And we bought in for £1,508, sold out for £5,285 for a profit of £3,777. That was a 71.47% gain. And again, you know, thank you to everybody that's kind of watched the videos on the Trading 212 portfolio, because of, you know, you guys, you're the reason I really started this portfolio to begin with. I would never even thought to do it, and I was able to give away close to £900 to charity from the portfolio gains. Obviously we'll have to pay some tax and whatnot, but that's not a really big issue. But it's been an interesting ride. So you can see here Laredo Petroleum bought in £2,631, sold out £5,465 for a profit of £2,833, 51%. And then we get down into the smaller numbers. These are ones that we haven't actually closed out the trade. They're still open. This is Centrus. We started at 1,060. And today's pounds maybe a little bit different now than when I was doing the spreadsheet a couple of hours earlier. So this one is in the profit to £1,573 or 59%. And you can see it kind of gets lower here. Tesla, this is a good example of mistiming. We had 3 Tesla shares and we sold out at £1,718 for a profit of £621. If we'd have held those, this would have been worth over well, probably not quite 3,000, but 2,800. So missed timing on the Tesla, but profit is never a bad thing. We had a gain of 36% on the Tesla. And then you see some of the smaller amounts here down on the cryptocurrency mining companies like Hut 8 up 47%, CleanSpark up 29%. This is the Laredo trade that we still have open that is currently in the profit of 35.28%. And yeah, again, when you can see today's pounds, this is the trades are actually still open. So Vermilion Energy up 31%. Lloyds Bank was still up 48% on those. So that is the winners. Now let's take a look at the losers. Our worst trade has been the Tullow Oil, which we are minus 122% in the red on the part that we still have open. Sold some of that off here for a 462 pounds loss. That was when I thought the markets were really going to correct, which I was not correct about. That was a 27% loss. So this is our worst trade here. And then we look up here, Microvision. I ended up selling that off. I was just going to hold on to it and thought, there's no point. It's just not doing well. And I think the next day that I sold it, it went up like 10%. So, of course, market timing, again, biting is in the rear end. 34% loss on that trade. Only 280 pounds. But we got pretty lucky with this portfolio because you can see the losses here were a lot smaller than the wins and the gains. Some of these older, again, meta platforms. This one's still open. This is Facebook. We're negative 37 pounds, so minus 3%. And Aurora Cannabis, this one didn't do well. Lost 159 pounds on that, 33% loss. And then Comstock, which we have open right now, that's a energy play, is 160 pounds in the red, probably more now since I checked it, but that's 16%. So generally, pretty good if you look at the amounts of winning trades versus losing trades. Again, we're in a bull market, no surprise. I mean, I think your uncle Ricky could have made money in this market by probably picking out stocks, but we had way more many winners than losers, and that is why the trading 212 portfolio is actually doing as well as it's doing. 15,847 pounds right now, up from 5,500, so basically it's tripled. And we'll just keep rolling it over and see what happens so we can give more money away to charity. And hang on 1 second. Yeah, so that's pretty much it on that end. And I just wanted to talk to you about, for anybody that's in cryptocurrency and who's looking to get into it, there's now over close to 14,000 coins, and this presents a lot of risk to those people that are really informed about how cryptocurrency works, what these coins actually do. You can see all these crazy Doge Moon coins and Super Doge, and they're basically just copies. They don't really do anything. I fully expect these things to go to zero one day. We got something called Coco Swap here, which has gone up 72,000% in one day. Nuts. But look, the difference between Bitcoin and these other altcoins, including Ethereum, is that altcoins are businesses. Most of them. Most of the good, solid projects are businesses. Things like Binance Coin is a coin that is used to fund Binance.com trades and the Binance platform. We got stable coins that are backed by things. We've got Solana, which is being used for payment systems and lots of different blockchains. And then other things like Uniswap, which is a decentralized exchange. But these coins are under immense risk because there's some things that you really have to watch out for. And one of them is regulation. We can see this is going on right now with Ripple, and which is XRP is their coin right here. It's the 7th biggest cryptocurrency in the market at a market cap of 61 billion US dollars, and they are currently being sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission here in the US, and the SEC is saying that XRP is a security, and therefore illegal, not supposed to be doing what it's doing. I think a lot of things are going to really hinge on this XRP result. If XRP wins that lawsuit, it's going to set a precedent probably for all other altcoins. However, if XRP were to lose that lawsuit, there's a lot of unknowns about what will happen to all of these altcoins and all these other cryptocurrencies that could be considered securities, because basically they've released coins to raise capital for these businesses. So it's like an IPO, and they call it an ICO, a initial coin offering, which the SEC is arguing that is a security. So if Ripple loses this lawsuit, and let's say that altcoins then become under regulatory discrimination, every single one of these coins could get sued by the SEC. This would present a big problem, probably crashing the prices of everything from Ethereum downwards. I fully expect that people would move into the safe haven of Bitcoin, which is, by the way, is now at a $1.2 trillion market cap. I believe it passed silver in its market cap size. But it's very important to know that the risk is really there with any of these coins aside of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is the only decentralized coin. It's not owned by anybody. It's literally a digital asset that is not a company. It doesn't operate for profit. It's just owned by the people that own it, and there's no security behind it. So from that respect, I see Bitcoin as the safest coin out there. It really can't be scrutinized by the SEC. It could, the government could try to ban it. It's always a possibility. I think it's too big now at this point for that to happen. But the rest of these coins, be very, very careful. The head of the SEC has been, Gensler, I think his name, has been making some comments about his thoughts on these other altcoins and how it pertains to them being viewed as security. So we really have to pay close attention to that. It's not something that's going to happen anytime soon, but if there were announcements, by the US government that they were to be under heavy scrutiny, then these prices could really, really crash. So just be aware of the inherent risk there is to any of this cryptocurrency investing, aside of Bitcoin. Of course, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is not risky. There is risk involved in Bitcoin, but it is, I believe, the safest asset, not financial advice, but the safest cryptocurrency asset that is sort of immune to the security argument and possibly getting sued by the SEC, because there's no one to sue. You can't really sue Bitcoin. There's no person to sue. There's no business to sue. It's just a digital asset that is going on its own accord, is out there in the digital universe, that is being considered as digital gold. And like I've always said, I have no dog in this fight. I'm a personal investor in a lot of these altcoins short term with the plan of moving into Bitcoin. Makes no difference to me if anybody else invests in this or not. I think it's a great asset class that could provide a lot of financial freedom for people who really understand what Bitcoin is. You can see just 3 months ago, we've run up from 48,000 US all the way to where we are now, which is 66,000. It's pretty crazy that something could move that much. Yes, there is going to be volatility, but in the long run, I think Bitcoin is going to be just fine. So there you go. I think we're going to have a short stream. How long have we been going for? 36 minutes. Yeah, we're going to have a short stream tonight because there's not much to cover in the peer-to-peer lending space. I haven't really changed my allocations at all within peer-to-peer. I'm just basically collecting interest on those loans and rolling it over into new loans. Nothing really of interest aside of maybe Blend and Prop Lend at the moment. Trying to get a hold of Easy Money, see if I can get them to come on the stream. So I had quite a few people that have asked for that. But not really too much interesting things going on. A lot of focus seems to be on cryptocurrency at the moment. But, not necessarily for everybody. Totally understand that. Sorry about the background music. I know it was terrible. I heard the F word. I'm sorry. It's Yeah, and by the way, Mike makes a good point. Gold is up today. We've seen a big rise in the gold price for once. It's taken such a long time for gold to actually move. I think it is a pretty big jump for one day. When you look at the gold price. Yeah, I've been kind of keeping an eye on gold. It's at $847 for an ounce at the moment, US. And we saw a big spike. I think it was up maybe 6%, or maybe not. Here we go. No, it's 0.82%, so up 5% in the last 30 days. But gold's not really done a lot for the last year. You can see here minus 1.63%, up 46% in the last 5 years. But again, highly market dependent on when you actually buy in. But I do believe this is going to be a pretty decent diversification play if you're worried about the stock markets rolling over. I don't think we're there yet. But generally what happens when the markets go negative, gold tends to hold its value or maybe even rise a little bit as people move into this what they consider safer precious metal assets. But with cryptocurrency around now and Bitcoin, I think you might see a lot of money move into the crypto space, into Bitcoin if the markets do fall. I'm not saying that Bitcoin wouldn't fall, also could. Absolutely, it did back in March of 2020. But yeah, you can see this movement here on this yellow chart. November 10th, we've seen this spike up from 1830 range all the way to 1865, and then we've seen this correct back down a little bit. So pretty interesting what's going on in the gold market. It's been so long since that gold has really moved. Never really been a big fan of gold. Let's look at the chart. See what's going on. This is the 1-day gold price. So right here was the 1825, and then we hit this peak of 1863. If we look at the year, just kind of been trading sideways. This is per kilo. It's 5 years. Definitely, if you happen to get lucky and come in at the wrong time down here, if you had a crystal ball, $1,176 an ounce, you were sitting pretty if you managed to get out here in August of 2020, which you can see here how gold reacted to the coronavirus March drop. You can see actually gold taking a dump too. So gold isn't as safe as you think, because the market's also dropped, even though gold didn't go quite as bad as what the stock market did. But that's the March drop, and then from there you saw a pretty big mountainous rise up from 1524 up to 2022, and then from there we've obviously lost some ground. So we've seen actually negative since the 4th of August 2020 back here to today, which is at 1847 an ounce. From here 2022 an ounce. So again, look at the 10-year chart, highly dependent on when you bought in. If you were buying in back here, and this is the 10th of October 2012, you pretty much saw 8 years of no gains. So, it would have been pretty hard just to sit for 8 years and watch gold do nothing. But if you were lucky enough to be a good market timer who got in down here or down here, you were going to be very happy with gold. Again, one of the biggest issues with trying to time anything, not just gold, stocks, cryptocurrencies, we just don't know where these low and high points are. So best to diversify. Again, still, I put it on the Facebook group, have peer-to-peer loans, solid backed companies, stocks, some cash, recommend some crypto exposure too. I don't think you could go wrong if you stick by that. If you wanted to throw some gold in there too for a hedge against the stock market correction, you'd probably be pretty safe. I think bonds are useless at this point. Government bonds are just paying nothing, so I don't think we're going to see much in the way from there. Yeah, but that you're right. The gold rise does show some trouble ahead. And the markets are frothy. The markets are definitely overheated. But again, I pay attention to those three factors: the U.S. 10-year Treasury yield. What is that doing? It's pretty low at the moment. If that were to spike, then that would be a concern. A strong U.S. dollar would be a concern, and then low oil prices. So right now we're seeing high oil prices, low interest rates on the Treasury yield, and I don't think at the moment that the stock market is ready to turn just yet. But you never know; this could happen any day. So keep an eye on it. And I've also, did you see Kuflink email today featuring their appearance on the stream? I did not. So when is the next guest due? I don't know. We had a lot of guests over the last few weeks, so I was kind of trying to space it out. But I've got some emails into some companies. I'll let you know. Probably one in December, I would think. I don't know if we'll have one this month, maybe at the end of the month, but one in December. And then again up in the new year. Yeah. Evergrande in default. Is Evergrande in default? Let me see. I know there was another company that was having issues. Yeah, they're teetering on the edge of, let's see here, on the edge of default again. Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, they had this a month ago. Shares of developer Fantasia plunged 60%, 50% after missing payment. Oh, I mean, China's got all kinds of problems within its construction industry. I think a lot of insiders have known this for years, that they were building buildings in China that were not getting bought. Nobody was living in them. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to have some trouble ahead. Anyway, we did a lot today. We're going to make the stream nice and short. Finally made it under an hour. It was the first time, I think, maybe ever. But, one other thing I wanted to tell you about too. Remember last week I told you about this little crypto miner. It's called a Aware Element. Yeah, this thing's doing pretty good. I think it's mined so far, and it doesn't use any electricity other than just plugging in the small power cord. It's not like a regular crypto mining machine. But it has mined about, I want to say $15 US dollars in Planet token in 7 days. So this thing could actually be a nice little potential passive income earner. You can buy these in the UK. I think they're on back order at the moment. They're £299. I got that one for £134. You can only have one on one IP address inside your house, but you could put another one in a relative's house or whatnot. But I think potentially £15 a week. You do have to buy a license fee, and it is kind of complicated to set up, but there are some good videos out there on how to do it. But if you're ever looking to get into the passive cryptocurrency mining space, I mean, this thing should be able to pay itself off in, I would say, 2 or 3 months, and then everything else is just icing on top of the cake. And if the Planet token prices, which are about 40 cents each right now, go up, then it become even more profitable. And it's also pretty cool because you can see what the air quality in your room is like. So the air quality in the office right now is 87 out of 100. Oh, it just went down to 83. But it measured humidity, heat, carbon dioxide levels. And it's a pretty neat little device. So again, Aware Element, AWAIR. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Everybody have a great week. We're back next week on Thursday evening as per usual. I'll get all the kinks laid out. All the emails will go out, I promise. Thanks again for your support and for being here. And again, hit that thumbs up before you go and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Take care. For your support and for being here.